Hi everyone, in this video we'll be learning how we can fine-tune any kinds of pre-trained model with the help of Hugging Face. So for this, again I kept one example. So here we'll be fine-tuning one dataset called IMDb. Okay, IMDb movie review dataset, and we'll be using one language model, okay, from the Hugging Face itself. So for this here we'll be using Hugging Face dataset only because I already told you Hugging Face is having dataset. Okay, dataset actually services. So you can also see different datasets, and this is the dataset count, guys. Okay. Now you can search any kinds of dataset. Now let's say I want to use something called IMDb dataset. So IMDb. So this dataset is already available. See, this is the IMDb dataset. Okay. So this is a movie reviews dataset. So here you have the movies, and based on that you have the reviews. Okay, whether it's a negative or positive. So here we'll be fine-tuning one text classification model. That means we'll be performing sentiment analysis. Okay, this is our main objective. So if you want to use actually Hugging Face dataset, for this you have to install one library called Dataset. Okay, so first of all try to install Dataset, and make sure you also install transformers. Okay, because I already installed transformers, so that's why I'm not going to install again. Now you have to restart the runtime. Now see, it is restarting the runtime. After that we'll load the data, and loading data is very much easy. Only you just need to give the dataset name. Okay, so there is a load dataset function inside dataset. You have to call it, and inside that you have to pass the dataset name. It will automatically download the data from the Hugging Face. Okay, now see, this is the dataset name IMDb. Just copy the name and give it here. Okay, it will automatically download. Now if I show you, so not only this data, you can use any kinds of data. Even I think you remember in the previous video I showed you that tokenizer. So in the tokenizer also you can take different model. Okay, different model for the tokenization. So there I was using BART-based case model. You can also use any other model. But remember, whatever actually model you are using for the tokenizer, the same model you have to use for the model training as well, for the model inference as well. Okay, this is the idea. Now let me show you. See, my dataset is downloaded. Now if you want to see the dataset metadata, so this is the dataset. Now we are having training data, text and labels we are having, and this is the example. That means 25,000 actually rows we are having inside training example, and test data we are having 25,000, and here we are also having unsupervised data. So here we'll be using this data only, train and test data. Okay, for my analysis. Now first of all let's do the pre-processing task. So for this I think you remember we have to perform the tokenizer. So here I'm importing auto tokenizer. So again I'm using this model, BART-based case model. Okay, so first of all I will initialize my tokenizer. Then here I have created a function, tokenize function. Inside that I'm just tokenizing my example. Now which example I have to tokenize, guys? I think you remember, if I show you the data, let's say if I show you the first example, you can see this is the text. Okay, this is my reviews. Okay, this is my reviews, and this is the sentiment. So I have to apply on top of the reviews only. Okay, so that's why I'm giving text, example text, because inside example we are having the text. Okay, text keys actually you can see, because it's a dictionary format. Okay, that's the idea. And here I'm adding padding max length. Let's say, what is padding? I think remember. Let's say there is a sentence, this movie is good. Now let's say there is another sentence, I hate this. Okay, now just see the actually input length 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. So this input length actually having one word less. So in case actually what you can do, you can add some padding. Padding means 0 value. Okay, so that's why actually we are adding this particular parameter. Padding is equal to max length. That means first of all it will try to figure out the maximum length sentence. Based on that it will decide what would be the padding size. Okay, this is the idea. Now here we are applying this particular function. You can see this tokenize function on top of my entire data set. Okay, and for this I'm using map function, and map will apply on top of the entire rows. Okay, this is the idea. Now if I execute, see, this tokenizer will apply on top of my entire data set. Then I will get all of my vector. Now previously I only had this many of example. Now after tokenization you will see you will have some more actually keys, like your attention mask. Then you will also get the input IDs. Okay, these are the things you will be also getting. So guys, as you can see, my tokenization is completed. Now if I show you my tokenized dataset right now, so see, now I am having all of the features like input IDs, token type IDs, and as well as the attention mask. Okay, everything. Now if I want to show you the data, how it will look like, so here you can visualize. Let's say I want to see my training data. Let's say I want to show you the first example. Now you can see the first example. This is the raw text. Okay, and after doing the tokenization, you got the input IDs, and input IDs is nothing but is the vector representation of the entire text. Okay, you can see this is the vector representation, and it will also have something called this one, attention mask. Let me show you. Token type IDs would be there as well as the attention mask. See, attention mask. Okay, I hope it is clear now. That means we have successfully converted our textual data to vector representation. Now we can start the training, but before that I have to first of all set some of the training argument, and transformer provides actually one function called training arguments. Okay, inside that you can mention training arguments. So these are the default actually arguments you can keep as of now. No need to change anything, because again it's a hyperparameter tuning. Only just change you can do number of epoch. Let's say how many epoch you want to train. Let's say I only want to train only, let's say, one epoch as of now. Okay, only one epoch I want to train. And output directory, so it will create a folder here called output directory. Inside that it will save all the models and everything, right? Now let me set the training arguments. So again, this is kinds of template kinds of code. You don't need to remember anything. All the codes are available in the Hugging Face platform. So from there you can refer. Okay, you don't need to remember anything here. Fine. Now see, that many of actually training argument you can set here. Okay, after printing you can see. Okay, but I don't need to set all the training arguments. So we can only set these are the training argument. Fine. Now we can initialize the model. So here to initialize the model, first of all, you have to import to library auto. So here you have to import one library called auto model for sequence classification, because here we are doing text classification. For this you have to use this particular class. Then you have to also import the trainer. Now first of all you have to load the model. You can see this is the model, part based case model. I'm loading. Okay, so if you give it here, it will automatically download. And number of labels I'm giving 2, because we are having only 2 labels, positive and negative. We are doing the sentiment analysis now of the IMDb dataset. And if you see the sentiment, only positive and negative. Fine. If you're having, let's say, 4 sentiment, that time you can give 4. Okay, I hope you're clear. Now simply we can initialize the trainer. Inside trainer, give the model, give the training arguments. Okay, the training arguments we are getting from here. This is the training arguments. Then we have to pass the train data. So this is my train data, tokenized data train. Okay, training sample. And evaluation data, I'm giving my testing data. Fine. Now let me click here. Now see, it will download the model and it will initialize all the trainer. Now see, training has not started yet, because if you want to start the training, you have to call this particular things. Okay, trainer.train. Now see, if I click here, now it will start the training. And after training, it will save all the artifacts in the results folder. Okay, so it will take some time, guys. So let's wait. Once training is completed, I will come back. If you're using free collab, so training will take some time, so you have to wait. Now what you can do, you can also evaluate the model on top of the test data. So just try to execute this code. So again, it will take some time. Let's wait. After this execution, you will see the evaluation metrics. And in between, let me show you the training loss and validation loss you got after training. So this is the training loss and this is the validation loss in only one epoch. So here, if you increase the epoch size, you will see that this loss would be decreased. So try to increase the epoch size whenever you are training your actual model. As of now, I'm only training one epoch because I just wanted to show you. Okay, this is the idea. Now let's see the evaluation metrics. What is the evaluation metrics we get here? So guys, as you can see, this is your evaluation result. So this is the evaluation loss. This is the evaluation runtime. That means that many seconds actually took to execute this entire code. And you can see we only trained one epoch. Okay, so you just only need to see these losses, like how much loss you are getting. So this loss should be close to 0. If it is close to 0, that means your model is performing better that time. Now you can also save the model you have trained. You can also save the model. Even you can also save the tokenizer. Why you have to save the tokenizer? Because let's say in future user will come here and they will be using your model. So they will give some input, right? And input is what? It's a text. So again, you have to convert that particularly into the vector representation. Yes or no, right? So to convert this input to the vector representation, I need to use my tokenizer, my train tokenizer. Okay, not the previous tokenizer. Okay, that's the thing you have to remember. And as well as I also need to save my model. Now let me save both of them. Now you can see in the results folder, we are having all the checkpoints of our model training and all. I think you already know, if you have already learned previously, like how to train computer vision model, TensorFlow model. I think you know what is checkpoints. Okay, now see, we have successfully saved our model. Now if I refresh, now see, this model has been saved here. Now inside this folder, actually we're having different actually files. You can see config JSON, then save tensors, okay, JSON. So this is how actually your Hugging Face save the model. Okay, it will contain actually multiple file. Inside config.json, you will have the entire configuration of the model. Okay, this is the main idea. So see, we have successfully saved our model as well as the tokenizer. Now let's see actually one project. Now let's try to do one small project. So here we'll be using this archive actually. So I think you know archive is a website. So here you will get different research paper. Okay, all kinds of research article you will get here. So first of all, we'll install this library because in Python we have this library. With the help of this library, we can actually download all kinds of article, right? We can get all kinds of article data. So now let me import. Now see, if you want to use this particular library archive, first of all, you have to prepare one query. You need AI or artificial intelligence or machine learning related, let's say, paper. Here you are giving the query. Now here you have to search. Okay, you have to search in the archive. Now here you can see I've given the query. Maximum result I need 10, and you have to pass this particular parameter called sorted by. Just try to mention submitted data as of now. Now it will give me different page, and I'm looking through the page and I'm extracting the published date, title, and abstraction and category of the paper. Okay, then whatever data I'm getting, I'm converting to the data frame and I'm just plotting it here. Now let me execute and let me show you. So guys, you can see I got the results. Now this is the published date, this is the title of the paper, and this is the abstraction of the paper. Okay, abstract of the paper, and this is the category. Now let's say I want to create a research paper summarization system. So what I can do in the pipeline, I can mention I want to perform summarization. Okay, and which things I want to summarize? I want to summarize this abstraction. Okay, this abstraction I got, you can see this is the abstraction column. Okay, abstract column. Now that's why I'm passing the abstract column from the data frame, and here I'm using this Facebook BART large CNN model. Okay, and inside that I'm passing my abstraction. Now see, it will give me the summary. So this model actually they train on the summary. Okay, summarization task. You can open it up and you can see the description of the model. They are doing the summarization task. Okay, so execution is completed. Now I got all of my summarization result. Now let's say I only want to see the first one. Okay, first summarization text. Now I can execute this code. You can also print all of them. It's up to you, but I'm only showing the first example. See, this is the summary of the first results. Okay, now, so I hope guys it is clear how we can perform the, let's say, fine-tuning operation on top of a pre-trained model. And no need to worry, going forward also we'll be exploring lots of model and we'll be doing the fine-tuning operation. We'll be implementing different application. Okay, on top of it we'll be implementing different projects. So yes, this is all from this video. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.